Welcome to Mike's Motorworx, and yeah, we have an interesting episode for y'all. You want to check out to see what's next, because sometimes when you're on the dyno, things don't go as planned. All right, so if you're a regular follower of the show and if you're watching the episode sequentially, you'll notice that something familiar is back on the rack. John, you want to tell them, because last time they saw this, we were thinking it's just the timing chain, but some people were probably thinking, wait a minute, if the timing chain goes, there's something bigger going on. So what have you decided to do, and what did we find?
Well, we pulled the motor completely out. Went ahead, pulled the oil pan, and there was some serious debris in the bottom. Pieces of the ring in the bottom. But yeah, it had a catastrophic failure.
Yeah, so catastrophic failure. So it wasn't just a defective timing chain, it was an absolute catastrophic failure. And you can see the pieces of the debris here in the shots as we're speaking. John, what would cause such a thing?
Well, it could be a couple of different things. But the first thing that I see that pops into my head is defective wrist pin or defective piston.
All right, so not an oiling problem, but something defective inside.
Yes, that's the only thing that I can think of, because the way those piston wrist pins are, is they are actually a lock-in style. Mm-hmm. So you can't really put them in wrong. There's no way to do that because of the way those rings are that hold them in place. So that tells me that there is something defective in the piston. I don't know if right there where the wrist pin and the piston connect failed, or if it was just a failure in the aluminum casting from the piston.
So it could have been the aluminum piston in the casting, right? And so do you think maybe by when they were doing the dyno tuning, we were having leaning and rich problems? Do you think maybe it ran too lean and it caused the piston to overheat in a certain area and fall apart?
No, because if that was the case, it would do it on all the pistons.
Ah, okay.
So if you run it too lean for too long, you're going to see it across the entire engine.
So because
not one specific.
So because we only saw it in the one area, that tells you it was not a problem across the board, but in that one particular item.
Yes.
Oh, wow, that's horrible. So because of that, you've kind of changed a few of your projects around. Is that correct?
Yeah, we have. We're going to put the yellow S10 motor in the Blazer.
Oh.
And the reason we're doing that is it's basically stock. Mm-hmm. It's not going to have the big, humongous cam because it's got the LS3 cam. So it's cam down. It's not as aggressive. And it's going to be a little bit, I know that motor runs good. It's going to be a little bit better for this truck. That way I don't have to play and tinker with it like I did with this motor, excuse me. So it's going to be more of a consistent running engine because we know it's been running good for a long period of time.
All right, so what you're saying then is because this is more of a daily driver, you're putting in an engine that you're more familiar with, the one we just replaced the bearing on.
Yes.
And it's already got the PCM tune to it, you're already close on the tune, and you're putting something that's a little bit less aggressive. That way you can put the more aggressive motor in the S10.
S10, yes.
All right, very good. So since that happened with that particular motor, is there any salvaging the motor, or is it gone?
The block itself is pretty much done. I'm sure you could re-sleeve it. It's just not worth it.
Right.
Because those 5.3 and 4.8 motors are dime a dozen. The one cylinder head that did not have the catastrophic failure is still good. Mm-hmm. All the springs and all that are still in good shape. It didn't tear anything up there. And the cam is good. So a little bit of cleaning with some really, really fine emery cloth just to get any kind of nicks that were caused when it detonated. But the cam is in good shape. So that's a big plus.
Good deal. So basically what you're saying then is the motor that was once in the S10 is now going in the Blazer, and the Blazer motor, you're going to fix up a little bit more, heat it up or hot it up a little bit more, hot rod it, and then put that in the S10 for future fun.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like fun. So that's a quick update on the projects. John, is there anything else you want to convey?
JD, thanks for tuning it. He did a great job. He really did. He didn't lean it out. He caught it before any major issues. It's one of those things that happens on the dyno.
Right.
You know, you never know. The piston was what actually failed. The connecting rod, and that was a brand new piston that we put in there. So I definitely can say it has nothing to do with the tuning process.
Nothing to do with the tuning process?
Nothing at all. JD did a great job in tuning it. He started to work his way to get a good tune, and it just happened to go while he was tuning it. And there's nothing that you can really do.
Awesome. There you go. And so because all this stuff is good, hey, John, do you have a spare LS motor floating around?
I do.
Oh.
It's out of a 2009 Silverado, which does have the active fuel management. So that would be a great segment to show you how to do the active fuel management delete.
Oh, there we go. So check that out on future episodes. Other than that, thanks for watching, and catch you on the next go-around.